Today, I'd like to introduce a case about the accounting scandal of HealthSource Corporation. The first part is introduction of the scandal. The HealthSource Corporation accounting scandal refers to a major financial fraud that occurred in the U.S. in 2003. HealthSource Corporation was one of the largest healthcare providers in the U.S. in the early 2000s. The company was founded in 1984 and grew rapidly to operate over 1,500 facilities in 30 states. In 2003, HealthSource was revealed to have engaged in a massive accounting fraud that overstated its earnings by $2.8 billion. The scandal was one of the largest in U.S. history and led to the downfall of the company's CEO, Richard Scucci. He was accused of using fraudulent accounting methods and deceptive practices over several years to artificially inflate the company's financial statements, with the aim of deceiving investors and financial institutions. The next part is facts of the scandal. The fraud at HealthSource began in 1996 when Scucci directed the company's CFO manipulated the company's financial data to overstate its earnings in order to meet Wall Street expectations, making it appear as a highly successful company. The company used a variety of methods to cook the books, including recording false revenue, inflating the value of its assets, creating fake accounts payable, and backdating expense transactions. The fraud continued for several years, and by the end of 2002, HealthSource earnings were overstated by nearly $2 billion. The company's stock price soared during this time, and Scucci became one of the richest men in Alabama. The fraud was conducted over a period of several years and was concealed from auditors and investors. However, in 2003, a whistleblower came forward with information about the fraud. This led to an investigation by the SEC and the Department of Justice. And the next part is how fraud was conducted. Firstly, HealthSource recorded false revenue by creating fake patients and insurance claims. The company also inflated the value of its services by recording them at higher rates than what it was actually charging. The next is HealthSource inflated the value of its assets by recording them at higher than fair market value. The company also recorded fake assets such as equipment and real estate. The next is HealthSource created fake accounts payable to reduce its expenses. This made the company's income statement appear more profitable. The last is HealthSource backdated expense transactions to move them into future accounting fraud. This made the company's current income statement appear more profitable. The next is how fraud was detected. The fraud was initially detected when HealthSource CFO William Owens provided the FBI with information about the company's internal financial fraud. Subsequent, the SEC launched an investigation into HealthSource, uncovered substantial evidence of financial manipulation at HealthSource, and the company was eventually forced to admit to the fraud. There are some red flags. The first is HealthSource used a number of aggressive accounting practices, such as the recording revenue before it was earned and inflating the value of its assets. Next is HealthSource revenue grew rapidly during the period of the fraud. However, its operating margins remained relatively flat. This could have indicated that the company was not generating enough real cash flow to support its growth. In addition, HealthSource had a high turnover rate among its senior executives during the period of the fraud. This could have indicated that there were problems within the company. There are a number of things that can be done to reduce and deter accounting fraud, such as companies should have strong internal controls in place to prevent fraud. These controls should include things like segregations of duties and regular audits. Companies should have their financial statements audited by independent auditors on a regular basis. This can help to detect fraud and ensure that the company's financial statements are accurate. Companies also should create an ethical culture where employees feel comfortable speaking up about potential fraud. This can be done by providing asks trainings to employees and by creating a culture of transparency and accountability. Last but not least, companies should hold their executives accountable for the company's financial performance. This will help to deter executives from engaging in fraud. The last part is conclusion. Richard Scrooge was found guilty of fraud, false statements, and money laundering charges related to the HealthSource accounting scandal. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison and fined $275 million. The scandal had a significant impact on HealthSource, the healthcare industry, and investors, highlighting the importance of strong corporate governance and financial transparency. The above is relevant information. Thank you for listening.